Is it on? Yeah, okay, it's recording. So I am giving an update. I am about a week into my back to myopia. Oh my god, back to 2020 reverse myopia course, and I wanted to just report on the status of how it's going, what I'm noticing, what I've learned, and what I still have yet to learn. I am following through the courses, the lessons and everything at a fairly decent pace. I'd say a couple times a week I'm doing one or two lessons at least. So like 2 to 3 times a week I'm spending about 30 minutes to an hour each time going through the lessons that are provided online, and they've been great. They're really interesting. They're really informative. They break everything down into the basics. Some of the information I already knew from my prior reading on myopia.org, but other things I didn't know, so that's really cool. I have been religiously taking my eye measurements, both using a Snellen chart in my room and using a measuring tape to take the centimeter measurements to figure out the edge of blur, the distance between my eyes and a screen or a book, but I've been using a screen to see at what point the text becomes slightly blurry or fuzzy for me. And that will determine my level of myopia, basically. And it will help me figure out what diopters to use for my differential glasses. I've since learned, since making my last video, the difference between your normalized lenses, which are the lenses I've been currently using, or maybe not even, because I don't know if they're the correct prescription, but the ones I've been using to see farther away in the distance, and differentials, which are glasses that they're reduced diopter from the normalized, and they help to reduce hyperopic defocus, which is caused by using your distance glasses to see close up. So they're used to be seeing, they're used when you're in front of screens or reading something up close, usually about 60 centimeters away from your face. So I have been taking these measurements. I did the Snellen chart measurements. That's for distance. See, it's a little confusing. I've been taking that every day, 3 times a day, checking my eyesight. And that has been really fascinating for me because it's basically overall improving in the sense that the current prescription I'm wearing is getting, my eyesight's getting sharper. When I started off, I was seeing maybe like 20/30, 20/40 on the eye chart on average clearly, and 20/20 was kind of fuzzy. And now 20/20 in general is really clear, and sometimes I'm seeing 20/15. But all of this depends on, which is why you take several measurements daily. A lot of it depends on the time of day, what I've been doing, the amount of light, natural light, not artificial light, but natural light coming in, and what I've been eating and my stress level and everything like that. So I have been keeping a log of that regularly, and for the past week or so, I've been now taking centimeter measurements, the ones to figure out what differentials I'll eventually need, and that's been a process. It should have been way more intuitive for me, I feel like. I mean, it seems really simple, and it is really simple and straightforward, but I feel like I make things always complicated, so that was a bit of a learning curve for me at first, just to figure out how to measure my eyes with a tape measure to the screen and not like fumble it and drop it or over measure, under measure. And still, I feel like sometimes I have no idea if the numbers are really correct. But I measure the distance between, depending on the eye, like right by the eye to the screen, or if it's both eyes, I tend to do it like from the bridge of my nose to the screen, just to get a rough estimate. And I can demonstrate that in a video as well, but it's it was kind of humorous at first. So I've been doing that now enough times where I think I've got the hang of it, and I've gotten some pretty overall uniform results. Like they stay within a certain range, so I think I'm probably doing it correctly. I'm getting anywhere between like 27 centimeters to like 36 centimeters readings for my eyes and both eyes. Like I said in the last video, my right eye is weaker than my left, so my right eye tends to have shorter number measurements and my left eye has bigger ones. So anyways, all of this is to say that I feel really empowered. I feel way more in touch with my eyesight than I ever have before. I feel like I'm getting the hang of these measuring tools and learning about my eyes and how they change, how my eyesight changes. I feel like I'm kind of becoming my own optometrist and not anywhere near the level that end myopia people are at, or even that my regular ophthalmologist is at, but I feel so much like better that I kind of know more or less what these measurements mean, which I didn't before, and what that implicates for my eyes. So I will touch base again probably in another week to see where I'm going. I mean, it's kind of a slow process. It is a learning process. It's a personal journey as well. So each person, I feel like, has their own experience with it. And I have been enjoying mine, though I feel like I tend to, it's like to get over that learning curve, it takes a little while. I'm slow, but then once I get it, it clicks. So I'm going to continue with the courses and continue with the measurements, and maybe soon I'll get my own pair of glasses that are for the screen, because I have now been taking off my glasses to use the computer and I've literally had to be like this close to the screen to see, which is not advisable, but I still think it's better than wearing my distance glasses for the computer, because we all know that's bad now. So anyways, hope you enjoyed the video, and I will probably put one up about how to measure with centimeter measurements. So enjoy.